Odyssey Book 1. The gods and council, Athena's visit to Ithaca, the challenge from Telemachus and the suitors. Tell me, O Muse, so that ingenious hero who traveled far and wide after he had sacked the famous town of Troy. Many cities did he visit, and many were the nations with whose manners and customs he was acquainted. Moreover, he suffered much, I see, while trying to save his own life and bring his men safely home. But do what he might, he could not save his men, for they perished through their own sheer folly in eating the cattle of the sun god Hyperion. So the god prevented them from ever reaching home. Tell me, too, about all these things, O daughter Zeus, from whosoever source you may know them. So now all who escaped death and battle, all by shipwreck, have got safely home, except Odysseus. And he, though he was longing to return to his wife and country, was detained by the goddess Calypso, who had got him into a large cave and wanted to marry him. But as years went by, there came a time when the gods settled that he should go home to Ithaca. Even then, however, when he was among his own people, his struggles were not yet over. Nevertheless, all the gods had now begun to pity him, except Poseidon, who still persecuted him without ceasing and not letting him get home. And now Poseidon had gone up to the Ethiopians, who were at world's end, and lying two halves, the one looking west and the other east. He had gone there to accept a hecatomb of sheep and oxen, and was enjoying himself at his festival. Those other gods met in the house of Olympian Zeus, and seer of gods and men to first. At that moment he was thinking of Aegisthus, who had been killed by Agamemnon's son, Orestes. So he had to accept the gods. See now how men lay blame upon us gods, for what is after all nothing but their own folly. Look at Aegisthus. He must need to make love to Agamemnon's wife, unrighteously, and kill Agamemnon. But though he knew it would be the death of him, for I sent Hermes to warn him not to do either of these things, inasmuch as Orestes would be sure to take his revenge, but he rather wanted to return home. Hermes told him this in all goodwill, but he would not listen, and having had paid for everything in full. Then Athena, said father son of Cronus, king of kings, and served Aegisthus right, and so would anyone else who does as he did. But Aegisthus is neither here nor there. It is for Odysseus that my heart bleeds when I think of his sufferings in the lonely secret island, far away, poor man from all his friends. It is an island covered with forest, and it is very middle of the sea, and goddess lives there, the magician Atlas, who looks after at the bottom of the ocean, and carries the great columns that keep heaven and earth asunder. This bastard Atlas had got hold of poor unhappy Odysseus, and keeps trying by every kind of management to make him forget his home, so that he is tired of life and thinks of nothing but having was more seek smoke of his own chimneys. You say take no heed of this, and yet when Odysseus was before Troy, did he not rather propitiate you with many other sacrifice? Why then should he keep on being so angry with him? And Zeus said, my child, what are you talking about? Have not forget Odysseus when than whom there is no more capable man on earth, no more liberal in all his offerings than the mortal gods that live in heaven. Bear in mind, however, that Poseidon is no furious of Odysseus, but having planted an eye of Polyphemus, king of the Cyclopses, Polyphemus is son to Poseidon, with a blood nymph, Usa, daughters of seeking Orcus. Therefore, though he will not kill Odysseus outright, he poisons him by preventing him from getting home. Still, let us lay our hands and heads together and see how we can help him to return. Poseidon will then be pacified, for if we are all on mind, he can hardly stand up against us. And Athena said, to the first king of kings, that then the gods now mean that Odysseus should get home. We should first send Hermes to the Ogygian island to tell Calypso that we have made up our minds and that he is to return. In the meantime, we have Ithaca, the good heart and ship, Odysseus' son of Telemachus. I will involve him to hold the tribunes and assembly and speak out to the suitors of his mother Penelope, who persist in eating any number of their sheep and oxen. I will also met with Sparta and to Pylos, to see if he can do anything about returning to your father, for this will make people speak well of him. So saying, she man on her glittering wool, golden sandals and perishable, which she can fly like the wind over a land or sea. She rested every night for long shot spear, so tough and strong, strong, well she closed with heroes who had exclusive, and down beyond Poseidon comes Olympus, the rock that she was in Ithaca, and he put forth Odysseus' house, disguised as a visitor, Antis, chief of the Taphians, and she held a bronze spear in her hand. There she was, seated on the oxen which they had killed and eaten and playing dross in front of the house. Men, servants, and pages were just laying out to wait upon them, some mixing wine with water and mixing bowls, some cleaning down the tables of blood sponges and laying them out again, and some cutting up great quantities of meat. Telemachus, who saw her long before anyone else did, he was sitting moodily among the suitors thinking of his great father, and how he would send them flying out to the house, that he were to come to his boat again, and be honored as in days gone by. Thus brooding as he sat among them, he caught sight of Athena, and went straight to the gate where he was next, a stranger who he had waiting for at midnight. He took her right hand in his own and gave her their spear. Welcome, said he, to our house, and you have giving of food, shall tell us what we have come for. He looked away as he spoke, and Athena followed him. When they were with him, he took his spear and set it in the spear's hand against a strong staring post, along with the men of the spears of the attacking father. And he left him to see how he threw a cloth of the next. There was a crucible also for peace, and he sat under the seat here for himself, away from the suitors, that she might not be annoyed while eating by them whose insolence, and that he might ask her more freely about his father. A maidservant then brought him water and people and fever, and poured it into a silver basin for them to wash their hands, and she drew a clean table besides them. An other servant brought them bread and offered them many good things of what there was in the house, a carved for some plates of all manner of meats, and set cups of gold by their side, and a manservant brought them wine and poured it out for them. The suitors came in and took their places on the benches and seats.
How's it going, y'all?
Over their hands, made with round with bread baskets, pages, and mixing bowls, and with wine and water as they laid their hands upon the good things that were before them. As soon as they had food to drink, there was music and dancing, with the inventions of a banquet. So a servant brought up here to Atlas, whom they compelled perforce to sing to them, and as soon as he touches later, the end to sing Telemachus. So low Athena, with his hand close to hers that no man might hear.
Anyone else have a mic besides that Atlas guy that I had to mute?
And all this is done at the cost of one who's swimming the life and some wilderness or grinding powder in the surf. That these men were seeing my product on that day because they would pay for longer legs rather than longer purse, for money would not suit them. But he, at last, is born and looking, and even when people do sometimes say that he is going, we are going to do them. We shall never see him.
Yeah, or that fucking Atlas guy's nice.
But never shall we gain him. Now you can run these because that plus nation be playing such a we cannot have in my land. Tell me that truly, or I don't know. While you were saying to yourselves,
what was going on with them?
In the old days, we had many visitors, for my father once had that and Athena answered, I tell truly, and had particularly all that tonight, and the son of Achilles, and I came to Athens. I have come here with my ship and crew on the voyage, and now I'm going from me, and on the far crew, I was as for my civilized, who were yonder out in the country away from the town, in the harbor of Macron, and you're the weak answer to everything. Our fathers were friends before us, as well tell you. But he will go into the
someone in the top car. Good on top left.
Oh, this is my jam!
I'm good up top on the gas station.
Enemy sighted.
Hi.
You got a Reaper point. Another Reinhardt.
Lucia's weak. Good shit.
That's on top.
Kenji's on top. Got him.
That's on the platform.
Oh, let's break it!
Yeah, we're making on that platform.
She's weak, she's weak. I'm a flank.
We're on the top. We got Jason out on the left. I got hacked.
I'm resorting to payload. Let's keep
Alright, let's do this.
Wait, where they Kenji?
Oh, let's break it.
Yeah, you're all got me.
Raising the volume.
Or if he's weak, you can kill her. Got him.
Take it from the top.
Oh no.
Good shit.
Fantastic.
Odyssey Book 2. Assembly of the people of Ithaca, speeches of Telemachus and of the suitors. Telemachus makes his preparations and starts with Phylos, being disguised as mentor. Now in the shroud of morning, rosy fingered dawn appeared Telemachus, rose and dressed himself. He met his hands slowly facing girded sword at his shoulders, and up his room, looking like a mortal god. He at once sets a cry of his round to call the people in assembly. So they called him, and the people gathered thereon. Then when they were got together, he went to the place of assembly, steering hand and not alone, for his two hounds went with and feeling about him, while the presence of such a knight comeliness, that all marvel at him. And as he went by, when he stood his place and saw his seat, even all his counselors made way for him. Vespasius, a man as the old age and of influence experience, was the first case, and was at John Odyssey's Ilium, land of noble seas, by the savage Cyclops, that killed him when they were all shut out from the cave. I don't like him. He had three sons left, of whom two still were from my father's line, while the third, Uranus, was the son of Zeus, nevertheless their father could not give him at all to Antipas, and was still moving for him when he began to speak. Men of Ithaca, he said, hear my words from the day Odysseus, left us there no meeting of our counselors until now, then can it be, whether old or young, that times is so necessary to convene us, as he got wind of some host approaching, and does he wish to warn us while when he speak upon some other matter of public moments. I am sure he is an excellent person, and I hope Zeus will grant him his heart's desire. While Marcus took his speech as a good omen, and rose at once when he was cursing, but what he had to say, he stood in the middle of the assembly, and the good herald, Pisanor, brought him from his staff, then turning to Antipas, search that it is I, as you will shortly learn, who have commanded you, when it is I who have the word most believe. I have not done any host approaching of that which I should warn you. Now is there any matter of public moments on which I would speak? My grievance is purely personal and turns on two great misfortunes which have fallen upon my house. The first of these is the loss of my excellent father, who was chief among all of you in your presence, and was on the every one of you. The second took more serious than an air, and all will be the latter room. My estate is of two men among you are pursuing my mother and Mary against her will.
Close it from back there. You're gonna kill.
I'm just getting started. Oh, let's break it.
Dude, why would Lucio do it by himself, bro? What the fuck?
I know, that was an annoying Mike guy too.
Oh my god, bro. Did I just ult and try to get a mercy?
No, I mean soldiers. When you're a most important character right now.
I got soldier down. Oh, mercy fucking res. Got soldier. Got mercy. Two people all push on your team.
Oh, fuck that Tracer.
Yeah, Tracer's spraying though.
We don't have a healer anymore.
You down? I'll switch right after y'all.
Thank you.
Oh my god, fucking Tracer's so annoying.
Well, what the fuck with that guy's stupid switch?
Yeah, dude, we need to fucking heal him. And Zenyatta's not even a good healer.
Yeah, he's one of the terrible healers.
Ah, I'm fucking done. No. Is that really not getting healed? And so we have a mercy because she could have res for all of us if we died.
Yeah, and that's a good red for one of the old days here.
We traded him here for Ciao. Oh, one of the players left, so we're in an advantage.
Look at that phrase. Oh, they lost the person. I'll take it like that. I don't care if that was a good win. Way to fucking kill a soldier.
Odyssey, Book 3, Telemachus visits Nestor at Pylos. As the sun was rising from the fair sea into the firmament of heaven to shed light on mortals and immortals, they reached Pylos, the city of Neleus. Now the people of Pylos were gathered on the seashore to offer sacrifice of black bulls to Poseidon, lord of the earthquake. There were 9 guilds with 500 men, and there were 9 bulls to each guild, and they were eating the inward meats and burning the thigh bones on the embers in the name of Poseidon. Telemachus and his crew arrived, furled their sails, brought their ship to anchor, and went ashore. Athena led the way, and Telemachus followed her. Presently she said, Telemachus, you must not be in the least shy or nervous. You have taken this voyage to try and find out where your father is buried and how he can by his end. So go straight up to Nestor, that we may see what he has got to tell us. Beg of him to speak the truth, and he will tell you no lies, for he is an excellent person. But how, Mentor? Replied Telemachus. Dare I go to Nestor, and how am I to address him? I have never yet been so used as in holding long conversations with people, and am ashamed to begin questioning one who is so much older than myself. Some things, Telemachus, answered Athena, will be suggested to you by your own instinct. Heaven will prompt you further, for I am assured that the gods have been with you from time of your birth until now. Then she went quickly on, and Telemachus followed in her steps till they reached the place where the guilds of Pythian people were assembled. They found Nestor sitting with his sons while his company round and were busy getting dinner ready and putting pieces of meat onto the spits while other pieces were cooking. When they saw the strangers, they crowded round them, took them by the hand, and bade them take their places. Nestor's son Pisistratus at once offered his hand to each of them, and seated them on some soft sheepskins that were lying on the sands near his father and his brother Thrasymedes. Then he gave them their portions of the inward meats and poured wine for them into a golden cup, handing it to Athena first, and saluting her at the same time. Offer a prayer, sir, said he to King Poseidon, for it is the feast that you are joining. When you have duly prayed and made your drink offering, pass the cup to your friend, that he may do so also. I doubt not that he too lifts his hands in prayer, for a man cannot live without God in the world. Still he is younger than you are, and is much of an age with myself, so I will give you the precedence. As he spoke, he handed her the cup. Athena thought it very right and proper of him to have given it to herself first. She accordingly began praying heartily to Poseidon. O thou, she cried, that in service to earth vouchsafe their grant the prayers of thy servants that call upon thee. More especially we pray thee, send down the grace of Nestor, and on his sons thereafter also make the rest of the Pylian people some handsome return for the goodly hecatomb they are offering you. Lastly, grant Telemachus and myself a happy issue in respect to the matter that has brought us in our ship of Pylos. Would you have us made a man of our own? She handed the cup to Telemachus and prayed likewise. By and by, when the outer meats were roasted and had been taken off the spits, the carvers gave every man his portion, and they all made an excellent dinner. As soon as they had enough to eat and drink, Nestor, knight of Greece, began to speak. Nay, said he, they are yes, but they will be best. Ask them who they are. Who thinks are strangers are you, and from what ports have you sailed? Are you traders, or do you sail the seas as rovers with your hand against every man, and every man's hand against you? Telemachus answered boldly, for Athena had given him courage to ask about his father, and give himself a good name. Nestor, said he, son of Neleus, honored to the Greek name. You ask whence we come, and I will tell you. We come from Ithaca under Neritum, and the matter about which I would speak is of private, not public import. I seek news of unhappy father Odysseus, who is sent to have sacked the town of Troy and come here himself. We know that we could follow each other on a cruise or combat cruise as regards to Odysseus, and who has been from the knowledge that he is dead at all, for no one can certify just in what place he perished, nor say whether he fell back on the mainland, or was lost at the sea amid the waves of Atlas-Atman. Therefore, I am supplement at your knees. Happily, you may be pleased to tell me of his melancholy end. Whether you saw it with your own eyes or heard it from some other traveler, for he was a man born to trouble. Do not stop to think and repeat for me that told me all this exactly what you saw with my great father Odysseus. Ever did you loyal service, even by burial deed, when you Trojans with Trojans, bear it in mind now as my father and tell me truly all. My friend answered Nestor, you recall a time of much sorrow in my mind. Suffered much from the sea, hearing under Achilles.
He's not there yet? Well, what was he doing? He left like an hour ago.
Achilles, through gods and hands on my own dear son, until the south man seemed to be
oh no, she got a new phone. I don't know if it has the same number. She broke her phone yesterday.
I could not tell you all that the Trojans suffered, and they returned homeward rarely about for any.
I don't know.
But the hand of heaven was against us. During all the time there was one who could compare to programs of the deep. If indeed you are his son, I can hardly believe my eyes, and you talk just like him too. No one could say that people of such different ages could speak so
playing video games.
He and I never had any
That's how I spend my day. I'm almost done with school. Kinda. I have like a list of the stuff that I have left. I have a list of the stuff that I have left in my third course. It's only about a week worth of school, but I could do it next if I wanted to. You said you had to play video games.
A meeting which was not as it should be, was the sunset when the Trojans were heavily with wine. When they explained why they had all the people together, it seemed that Menelaus was
I can only make what we have here at the house. Unless you want to
when we go clean up their minds, they do not change their thinking. Banging hard words, well on the Trojans,
maybe mom is taking an out like a present.
That night, we rested and nursed our anger for Zeus, who was hatching mischief against us by morning. Some of us
I'm home alone every day, except when I'm with
going on board. While the rest of us we fought the sacrifices of the gods. We did not yet mean how we should do so. And raise the civil people in the course of the 20 years. During the 6 ships now began to sail away under Odysseus to make their peace with heaven and realm. All the ships that were we pressed forward for I saw that mystic was brewing. The son of Tydeus went on also with me, and his crews with him. Later on, Menelaus joined us at Lesbos, and found us making up our minds about our course, for we did not know whether to go outside Chios, by the island of this area of Menelaus. So we asked heaven for a sign, and were shown one to the head, and we should be soonest out of danger, but we headed our ships across the open sea to Euboea. This we therefore did, and there when the sprang up, which many sacrifices to Poseidon, for having helped us so far on our way. 4 days later, Diomed, and his men stationed their ships in Argos, but I held on for Pylos, and the wind never felt light from the day when heaven first made it fair for me. Therefore, my dear young friend, I return without hearing anything about the others. I know neither who got home safely nor who were lost, but as you keep going, I will give you without reserve the reports that have reached me since. I have in my own house. They say that the Myrmidons returned home safely under Achilles, son of Neoptolemus. So also did the valiant son of Boreas and Philocrates and Idomeneus. Again, lost no man I see, all his followers, who escaped death in the field got safe home with him to Crete. No man in the nurture, how fair out of the world you live, you will have heard of Agamemnon, and Aegisthus, for presently pay, see what a good thing it is for a man to leave a son behind him, all to do as Orestes, the dead who killed false Aegisthus, the murderer of his noble father. You too then, for you are all smart-looking fellow, show your mettle and make yourself a name in story. Nestor, son of Melias, Isaac, Telemachus, honor your three few names, three wings off from Orestes, and his name will free all time. You avenged his father nobly. Would have met heaven might grant me to do like vengeance on the insolence of the wicked suitors who ought to plot in my ruin, but the gods have no such happiness for me and my father's who my friend, said Nestor, now that you remind me, I remember to have heard that your mother has many suitors who are ill disposed towards you, and that you have your estate. Do you submit to this kingly or public feeling, and the voice of heaven answering the most Odysseus may come back after all and pay these scoundrels and all leaders who can't your voice Athena, for imagery, unlike me as she did tell Odysseus when we were fighting before Troy, that I never yet saw the gods who were fighting on the knees of Athena, and your voice of your father. If truly take good care of you as she did of him, these rulers would soon some of them forget the wooing from Malchus' answer. I can't expect that in the time it would be too much. I do not let myself think, even though the gods themselves would so much good fortune to befall me. On this said to Malchus, when you thought about as a long hour with the mind of the true American to me, I should not care how much I suffered before getting home, provided I could be safe when I was once there. I would rather this than any get home quickly and get killed in my own house.
I claim his objective.
Was by the treachery of Odysseus and his wife. Still, death is certain when a man's power is found, not even the gods can save him, no matter how fond they are of him. Mentor, answered Telemachus, do not let us talk about it anymore. There is no chance of my father's ever coming back. The gods have long since counseled his destruction. There is something else, however, about which I should like to ask Nestor, for he knows much more than anyone else does. They say he has reigned for 3 generations, so like talking to him. Tell me therefore, Nestor, and tell us truth. How did Agamemnon come to die in that way? What was Menelaus doing, and how came false Oedipus to kill so far better a man than himself? Was Menelaus away from the Phrygian Argos, voyaging elsewhither among mankind, that Oedipus took heart and killed Agamemnon? I will tell you truly, answered Nestor, and indeed you have yourself divined how it all happened to Menelaus. When he got back from Troy and found Oedipus still alive in his house, there would have been no borrow heaped up for him, not even when he was dead, though when he would have been thrown outside the city to dogs and vultures, and not a woman would have mourned him, for he had done a deed of great wickedness. But if we were over there fighting hard at Troy, and Aegisthus, who was taking his ease quietly in the heart of Argos, cajoled Agamemnon's wife, Clytemnestra, with incessant flattery. At first, she would have nothing to do with his wicked scheme, for She was of good natural disposition. Moreover, there was a bard with her, to whom Agamemnon had given strict orders on setting out for Troy that he was to keep guard over his wife. And when heaven had counseled her destruction, Oedipus carried this bard off to a desert island and left him there for crows and seagulls to banquet upon. After which she went willingly enough to the house of Oedipus, and then he offered many burnt sacrifices to the gods and decorated many temples with tapestries and gilding, for he had succeeded far beyond his expectations. Meanwhile, Menelaus and I were on our way home from Troy, on good terms with one another, when we got to Sunium, which is the point of Athens. Apollo, with his painless shafts, killed Pharontis, the steersman of Menelaus' ship, and never man knew better how to handle a vessel in rough weather, so that he died, and there with helm in his hand, and Menelaus, though very anxious to press forward, had to wait in order to bury his comrade and give him his due funeral rites. Presently, when he too could put to sea again, had sailed on as far as the Malian heads, Zeus counseled evil against him and made it blow hard till the waves ran mountains high. Here he divided his fleet and took the one half towards Crete, where the Sidonians dwell, round about the waters of the river Eridanus. There is a high headland hereabouts, stretching out into the sea from the place called Gortian, and all along this part of the coast as far as Vestius. The sea runs high when there is a south wind blowing, but after Asius, the coast is more protected, for a small headland can make a great shelter. Here this part of the fleet was driven onto the rocks and wrecked, but the crews just managed to save themselves. As for the other 5 ships, they were taken by the winds and seas to Egypt, where Menelaus gathered much gold and substance among the people of alien speech. Meanwhile, Oedipus, here at home, plotted his evil deed. For 7 years after he had killed Agamemnon, he ruled in Messenia, and the people were obedient under him. But in the 8th year, Orestes came back from Athens to be his bane, and killed the murderer of his father. Then he celebrated the funeral rites of his mother and the false Oedipus by a banquet to the people of Argos. And on that very day Menelaus came home with much treasure that his ships could carry. Take my advice, then, and do not go traveling about for long so far from home, nor leave your property with such dangerous people in your house. They will eat up everything you have among them, and you will have been on a fool's errand. Still, I should advise you by all means to go and visit Menelaus, who has lately come off a voyage among such distant peoples as no man could ever hope to get back from. When the winds had once carried him so far out of the reckoning, even birds cannot fly the distance in a 12th month. So vast, terrible are the seas that must cross. Go to him, therefore, by sea, and take your own men with you, or if you would rather travel by land, and you can have a chariot, you can have horses, and here are my sons, you can escort you to Sparta, where Menelaus lives, and beg of him to speak the truth, and he will tell you no lies, for he is an excellent person. As he spoke, the sun set, and then came on dark, whereon Athena said, Sir, all that you have said is well. Now, however, order the tongues of the victims to be cut, and mixed wine, that we may make drink offerings to Poseidon and the other immortals, and then go to bed, for it's bedtime. People should go away early, and not keep late hours as a religious festival. Thus spoke the daughter of Zeus, and they obeying her, saying, Men servants poured water over the hands of the guests, while pages filled the mixing bowls with wine and water, and handed it round to make man his drink offering. Then they threw the tongues of the victims into the fire, and stood up to make the drink offerings. When they had made their offerings, and had drunk each one as much as he had minded, Athena and Telemachus were for going on board their ship, but Nestor came them up at once and saved them. Heaven and the immortal gods, he exclaimed, forbid that you should leave my house to go on board a ship. Do you think I am so poor and short of clothes, or that I have so few cloaks and rugs, to be unable to find comfortable beds, both for myself and for my guests? Let me tell you, I have stored both of rugs and cloaks, and shall not permit the son of my old friend Odysseus to camp down on the deck of a ship, not while I live, nor yet while my sons after me, but they will keep open house as I have done. Then Athena answered, Sir, you have spoken well, and it will be much better than that Telemachus should do as you have said. He therefore shall return with you and sleep at your house, but I must go back to give orders to my crew and keep them in good heart. I'm the only older person among them. The rest are all young men of Telemachus' own age who have taken this voyage out of friendship. So I must return to the ship and sleep there. Moreover, tomorrow I must go to the Caconians. I have a large sum of money long owing to me. As for Telemachus, now that he is your guest, send him to Sparta in a chariot, and let one of your sons go with him. Be pleased to also provide with your best fleetest horses. When she had thus, she flew away in the form of an eagle, and all marveled as they beheld it. Nestor was astonished and took Telemachus by the hand. My friend, said he, I see that you are going to be a great hero someday, since the gods wait upon you thus while you are still so young. This can have been none other than those who dwell in heaven, that Zeus's redoubtable daughter, the Tritoborn, who showed such favor toward your brave father among the Argives, holy queen. He continued, vouchsafe to send down thy grace upon myself, my good wife, and my children. In return I will offer you in sacrifice a broad-browed heifer of a year-old unbroken, and never yet by a man under the yoke. I will appeal of her horns, and will offer her up to you in sacrifice as did he pray. And Athena heard his prayer. He then led the way to his own house, followed by his sons and sons-in-law. When they had got there, he had taken their places on the benches and seats. He mixed them a bowl of sweet wine that was 11 years old, and took the lid off the jar that held it. As he mixed the wine, he prayed much, and made drink offerings to Athena, fearing Zeus. Then, when they had made their drink offerings and had drunk each as much as he had minded, the others went home to bed, each in his own abode. And when Nestor put Telemachus to sleep in the room that was over the gateway along this address, who was the only unmarried senator, let him as for himself. He slept in the inner room of the house, with the queen, his wife, by his side. Now when the child of morning rose up, he down off her, Nestor left his couch and took a seat on the benches of white and polished marble that stood in front of his house. Here aforetime sat Neleus, fear of gods in council, but he was now dead and had gone to the house of Hades. So Nestor sat in his seat, scepter in hand, as guardian the public wheel. His sons, as they left their rooms, gathered round him, Hyperion, Stratius, Perseus, Arcturus, and Perseus. The sixth son of the Stratus, Telemachus joined them.
Dennis weak on the side, Stefan. He was weak, got him next.
Wow.
Walk into it.
The gold brought the annual hammer tongs with which he worked his gold, and Athena herself came to accept the sacrifice. This he gave out the gold, and the smith yielded the horns from the hammer. The gods went to pleasure in their beauty, and Stratius and Hyperion grabbed the horns.
I'm first realized.
The house, and you were painted on it.
Recorded?
Oh wow. Shit was one shot.
We got recorded. We got a mic. They're recorded.
Oh, they can't get through?
Take recorded. What's up, we gotta help the people. One team recorded. Then recorded. They're on the right side. Yes! I just got pixel. Then.
Nice. You finally got it?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got it. Wait, you recorded?
Wow. I was about to kill our whole team. That's bad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They're recorded? They're recorded right there.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Then recorded. You have. That's right.
Ranger, I can face your left, face your left.
Yeah.
Then is almost there. Then it's one shot. Nice.
Yeah, they're dead. Nice.
On the back, and took his seat by the side of Nestor. When the outer mates were done,
I had to not to.
Just
say it's like,
I'm all.
fine.
Top left. Back.
That's two.
Girls go light throw with half.
Oh, very good system. That's 3-0.
3-0.
We're gonna have a Lucio. Evolution and Tracer. I have all. Yeah, I tried to record it when I see it. Record it. Nice.
Tracer's on top.
Oh, I'm lagging. No. I am. I can feel a bit of frames dropping.
Look at that.
We should just put it in the room.
Oh.
Get on the point. We should just put it. Indeed.
I can't get him.
Got him.
Look at that.
I'm on fire!
It hurts me every single time I walk it. You mana boost it?
Meanwhile, the supervisor of the Atlas gets to the office. Now, set without his stupid legs, they reach the low-lying city of Sarva, where they rode straight to the abode of Menelaus, and found him in his own house feasting with his many clansmen in honor of the wedding of his son, and also his daughter, who he was giving to the son of that wedding.
Fine, like that.
He had given his consent and promised to him while he was still at the point, and now guys were bringing marriage.
Look at that random.
So he was sending her both cherries and horses to see Achilles' son was reigning, for his only son had found bride from Sarva at another. This son, Megaphobus, was born to him of a bond, or had actually Helen, no more children after she had born Hermione, who was a famous woman after 19 herself. So he never conceived such a loss, can't be seen in making her in his house. There was a bar also missing to them from his escape. Two tumblers once about for his instrument, was named his room.
I got a folder.
As soon as he saw him, he was everything. Menelaus now pretenders on very
Where's the folder?
Mario.
Genji back of us. Genji back of us.
Look at that.
And due to busy times at Menelaus, it makes it important to conserve things wash their hands. She grew breathing was Isaac, who served not many good things at all, and left the house.
Oh, my turn right here.
Where are you then? Yeah, it was. That's good, wasted. I'll go for help. Sorry, just got it.
Wow, I can't. Older. Why? Why?
When I had only a third of what I now had, so that I had to those who were living in Paris and Troy offer partners. I often grieve as I sit here in my house. At times I cry aloud. And one soon tires of it. If grieve with these I may, I do so for one man more than for them all. I cannot even think.
This guy that goes annoying.
Wow.
Follow up in.
They got it.
Yep.
What's
my counter that we might do now? What is the base sense? Yes?
Okay.
What happened?
Which was throwing.
How do you know?
You ran in front of a guy and just missed him.
Did it work?
He stood there.
Yeah, I know how to play. All run big separation. I just I prefer voice. I don't know. I default here is fine. I realized that after I pressed on my box.
Good shot. Oh, no.
And that guy's got hurt. What's it?
Alright, powered up.
Oh, yeah, please. I was waiting for it. The soldier's on the ledge. He almost has ult.
Wow.
Soldier's still on top of the ledge. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. What is it taking? Oh, okay. Yeah. No. You have 3 things. Yeah.
Wow, so that was just fucking.
Yeah, man, I can't even move.
You like it?
Yeah. I already know who's making me like this. Luca. You know, he's just always on social media. With this internet and any device on it, it's like really low. I don't remember what it's at, but I know it's like a good bit low. I was asking something. Nope. No, we've never had that in there. That's what we can do.
Oh my god, no one's looking to that soldier.
No one's gonna get him.
I've been trying to get him this whole time, but he's only red. Like, he only heals up. He's still alive.
He was recording. Yep, good, on me. Yeah, Mike, you did really thought it gone, I would have died. There's already like 6 slots in a row. 3 from the other build we played and then 3 for today. I think that's pretty cool. Zenyatta, that's cool.
First, he will look over his seals and count them. Then, when he has seen them and tallied them on his 5 fingers, he will go to sleep among them as a shepherd among his sheep. The moment you see it is asleep, seize him, and pour all your strength before he pass. He will use their utmost to get away from you. He will turn himself into every kind of creature that goes upon earth and will be punished with fire and water. But you must hold him fast and grip him tight for his anger to be against you, and comes back to what he was when he saw him in the sleep of the gods, and they that is angry with you, and what you must do to reach your home over the seas. Having so said, she died in the place where I turned back to the place where our ship bore ranged on the shore. My heart was glad with the care I went so long. When I reached my ship, we got separated, for night was fallen, and down on the beach. In the chill of morning, rosy-fingered dawn, here I took the 3 men whose vows of all kinds I could most rely, and went along by the seaside, praying hardly to heaven. Meanwhile, the gods fetched me up 4 seals from the bottom of the sea, all of them just skin, for she makes flying through the bottom pond, and as you go for for us, the lion and sat down to wait, so as you come up, when we were close to her, and she made us lay down, and so after the seals seen over each other, and the sea would have been inseparable, or stretch. The fishy seals was most distressing. We would go to bed, the sea monster, he could help it. But here too, the goddess helped us, and thought of something that gave us great relief, where she put some ambrosia under each of his nostrils, which was so pregnant that it killed the smell of the seals. We went to the whole running bed, instead of watching seals fly hundreds of acid on the seashore, so I knew the old man of the sea came up to, then we had found the fat seals. We went over them and counted them, and we were among the first he counted, and he next took it in the isle that waited himself down to sleep as soon as he had been done counting. Then we had rushed upon him with a sharp season, and as he began our blood to resolve tricks and changes that person to a lion with a great name. Then all of a sudden he became a dragon, a leopard, a wild boar. The next one was running water, and he meant that he was a tree. We struck him, and he never lost form. So at the last cunning old creature became distressed and said, "Whose the gods was it, son of Atreus, that passed us along? He was nearing me and seizing me against my will. What do you want?" "You know they were self, old man," I answered. "You will gain nothing by trying to cut me off. It is because I have been kept so long in this island, and see what I'm saying, by being able to get away. I am losing all heart. Tell me then, will you gods know everything that the mortals it is that is hindering me, and tell me also how I may sail the sea so as to reach my home." Then he said, "And you would finish your voyage and get home quickly. You must offer sacrifices to Zeus and to the rest of the gods before embarking. For it is decreed that you shall not get back to your hands into your own house, till you have returned to heaven and stream of Egypt, with offer holy comes to the immortal gods that reign in heaven. When you have done this, they will let you finish your voyage." I was heartbroken when I heard this. I asked your Bible how long ways I will voyage to Egypt, and at last I answered, "I will do all, O man, that you have laid upon me, but now tell me and tell me true whether all the Europeans Nestor have left behind as well when we set sail from Troy, all have gone home safely, or whether anyone that came to attack them either on board his own ship or among his friends when the days of his fighting were done. So, son of Atreus, and so I ask you, have better not know what I can tell you, for your eyes will surely fill when you have heard my story. Many of those whom you ask are living down the enemies to remain. Only 2 men among the European stairs, during their return home. That's what happened on the field of battle. You were there yourself, a 3rd European leader is still at sea alive and hindered from returning. Ajax was wrecked, or Poseidon drove him onto the great rocks of Berea. Nevertheless, if you let him get safe from out of the water, and in spite of all Athena's hatred, would have escaped death if he had not been himself by boasting. He said to the gods could not drown him, even though they had tried to do so. And when Poseidon heard his large top, he seized his trident in his 2 brawny hands and split the rock of Berea into 2 pieces. The base remained where it was, about a part of which Ajax was sitting fell headlong into the sea and carried Ajax with it, so he drank salt water and was drowned. Your brothers and sisters escaped, for Hera protected him, but when he was just about to reach the high promontory of Malea, he was caught by a heavy gale, which carried him out to sea again sorely against the will, and drove him to the foreland where Atlas, who used to dwell where Euphemus was then living by and by. However, it seemed as though he was to return safely. After all, the gods passed the wind into a quarter, and they reached home where Agamemnon kissed the native soil and shed tears of joy, finding himself in his own country. Now there was a watcher whom Euphemus kept away on the watch, and to whom he had promised 2 talents of gold. This man had been looking out for a whole year to make sure that Agamemnon did not give him slip from their war. Then, when therefore this man saw Agamemnon go by, he went and told Euphemus, who at once began to lay a plot for him. He quickly transferred his greatest warriors and placed them in a stood cave on one side of the cloister, while on the opposite side of the banquet. And he sent his chariots and horsemen to Agamemnon and invited him to the feast. And he meant to play, and he got him there, all unsuspicious of the doom that was awaiting him, and killed him with the banquet, which over as though they were buttering an ox in shambles, not one of Agamemnon's. followers, was met alive. No yet one future this, but they were all children, and their voices thus spoke Prometheus. And I was broken hearted as I heard him. I sat down on the sands and wept. I felt as though I could no longer bear to live nor look upon the light of the sun. Presently, when I had had my fill of weeping and writing upon the ground, the old man proceeds it. Son of Beatrice, do not waste any more time in crying so bitterly. It can do no matter, go find your way home as fast as you can, for Beatrice may be still alive, even though Orestes had been beforehand with you in killing him, and you may come in for his funeral. On this I could comfort in spite of all my sorrow, and said, I know that about these two. Tell me therefore, after man, whom you took, is he still alive? But I see him unable to get home, or is he dead? Tell me no matter how much it may grieve me. The third man, he answered, is Odysseus, who dwells in Ithaca. I can see him in an island sorrowing bitterly in the house of a nymph, Calypso, who is keeping him prisoner, cannot reach his home, for he has no ships or sailors to take him over the sea. As for your own name, Menelaus, you shall not die in Argos, but the gods will take you to the Elysian plain, which is head end of the world. There fair hair Rhadamanthus reigns, and men lead an easier life than anywhere else in the world, for in Elysium there falls not rain, nor hail, nor snow, but Oceanus breathes every river with a wet wind that sings softly from the sea and gives fresh life to all men. This will happen to you because you have married Helen and are Zeus's son-in-law. As he spoke, yet I don't know the waves were on. I turned back to the ship with my companions, and my heart was lighted with a care. As I went along, we were just chasing us separately, for night was falling, and camped them upon the beach. When the shot of morning rose near dawn here, we drew our ships into the water and put our mast and sails within them. Then we went on board ourselves with our seats on the benches, and so the great eye of our oars. I again stationed my ships in the heaven that stream of Egypt, and offered hecatombs that were all insufficient. When I had thus appeased heaven's anger, I raised the arms and every firmament on, that his name might live forever. After which I had a quick passage from the God sent the fair wind. And now for yourself, stay here some 10 or 12 days longer, and I will then speak you on your way. I will make you a noble present of a chariot and 3 horses. I will also give you a people chalice, that so long as you will live, you may think of me whenever you may dream of me to the immortal gods. Some of these trees are plants of Amachus. Do not press me to stay longer. I should be contented to remain with you for another 12 months. I find your conversation so delightful that you never once wish myself at home. If I marriage with my crew, whom I have left at Pylos, are already impatient and wish me from them. As for my present, you may so submit me. I have rather that it should be a piece of plate. I will take no horses back with me to Ithaca, and will lead me to everyone to our own stables, where you have much flat, ground, where people are low to skies, and also meadow sweet, and we can not only notice with their black and spreading ears, whereas in Ithaca we have neither open fields nor race horses, and the country is more fit for goats than horses, and I would like it better for that. Now our islands have much level ground, suitable for horses and Ithaca. I said, well, Menelaus smiled and shook Telemachus' hand. So what he says that he shows that he come of a good family, out of hand, and will make this exchange for you by giving you a fine so much precious pieces of plate in all my house. This is mixing all I have places his own hand of pure silver, except of him, which is inlaid with gold. Phaetonus, king of the Sidonians, gave it to me in the course of a visit which I paid him when I returned thither on my homeward journey. I will make you a present of it. Thus the converse wild guest kept. Coming to the king's house, they brought sheep and wine, their wives had put up bread from them to take them with them. So they were busy cooking their dinners in the courts. Meanwhile, in Ithaca, the suitors were throwing discount for aiming with spears at a mark on the level ground for Odysseus' home, and were behaving with all insolence. And Antinous and Eurymachus, who were the ringleaders, and much the foremost among them, were sitting there with Noman, son of Oreneus, king of Antinios. Antinios, on one day Telemachus returned from Pylos. He was a ship of mine, Atlantis, he crossed over to Atlas. I have 12 broad mares there with the early mule horses by their side, not yet broken in. I was to bring one of them over here and break him. We were astounded at that when they heard this, for they had made sure that Telemachus had not gone to the city of Peleus. They thought he was only away somewhere in the farms, and was with the sheep, or with the swineherd. So Antinius said, where did he go? Tell me truly, and what young men did he take with him? Were they freemen on his own, or bondsmen, for he might manage that too? Tell me also, did you let him have the ship of your own free will, because you asked him, or did he take it without leave? I lent it to him, answered Noman. What else could I do when a man of his position said he was in a difficulty and asked me to oblige him? I could not possibly refuse. As for those who went with him, they were the best young men we had. And I saw Mentor on board as captain, or some crowd who was exactly like him. I cannot understand, for I saw Mentor here myself yesterday morning, and yet he was then setting out for Pylos. Noman then went back to his father's house, and Antinous and Eurymachus were very angry. They told others to leave off playing, to come and sit down along themselves. When they came, Antinous, son of Euthymius, spoke in anger. His heart was black with rage, and his eyes flashed fire as he said, good heavens, this wage of Telemachus is a very serious matter. We have made sure that they come to nothing. But the young fellow has got away and signed to us and take it through. He was giving us trouble presently. Made Zeus take him before he is full grown, finding a ship there for a crew of 20 men, that will lie in front of him in a straits between Ithaca and Spain. And he will then rue the day that he set out to try and get news of his father. Thus did he speak of his father, saying they all went inside the buildings. It is not long ere Penelope came to know that the suitors were plotting for a man of Medon. Overheard them, for they outside that report. They were lying the schemes of him and went to tell his mistress. As he crossed the threshold of her room, Penelope said, Medon, what have the suitors sent you here for? It is to tell the maids to leave the master's business and get dinner for them, at which they may neither woo nor dine. Henceforward, neither here nor anywhere else, but let this be the very last time, for the ways you make of the sons of state. Did not your fathers tell you when you were children how good Odysseus had been to them? Never doing anything high-handed nor speaking harshness anyway. Kings may say things sometimes, and they may take fancy to one man and dislike another. Odysseus never did any unjust thing by anyway, which shows what bad hearts have had. And that there is no such thing as gratitude up in the world. And Medon said, I wish, madame, that there were all, and they are plotting something much more dreadful now. May heaven frustrate their design. They are going to try and murder Telemachus, as he is coming home from Pylos and Sparta, where he has been to great news of his father, that Penelope's heart sank with him, and for a long time she was speechless. Her eyes filled with tears, and she could no utterance. At last, however, she said, why, my son, leave me. What business have he to go sail them off in ships that make long voyages over the ocean like sea horses? Does he want to die without leaving anyone behind him to keep up his name? I do not know, answered Medon, whether some god set him on to it, or whether he went on his own impulse to see if he could find out if he father was dead or alive. alive and on his way home, and when that physically leaving Penelope in an agony of grief, there was a bunch of seats in the house, but she had no heart for sitting on any one of them. She could only fling herself on the floor of her own room and cry where all the maids in the house were holding down the other bread and began to cry too, till I'd been in transport of sorrow. She exclaimed, "My dears, heaven has been pleased to shine me with more affection than any other woman. At my age and country, first I lost my brave lion-hearted husband, who had every good quality under heaven, whose name was great all over Hellas and Middle Argus, and now my darling son is the mercy of the winds and waves, without my having heard one word that's leaving home. You hussies, their arm is not one of you who so much as to give me a call after my neck, that you all you very well knew when he was starting. If I had known he meant to take this one dish, he would have to give it up, no matter how much he was spent upon it, or leave me a corpse behind, one or other. Now, however, go some of you told the issue was given me my father and my marriage, and who my gardener bid him go at once and tell everything to Laertius, who may be to hit upon some plan for enlisting public sympathy on our side, or against those who are trying to exert his own race, and that Odysseus. Then dear old nurse here placed it. You may kill me now, or let me live on you in your house, whichever you please, but I will tell you the real truth. I knew all about it and gave him everything you wanted in the way of every wine giving my solemn oath that I would not tell you anything for 7, 10, or 12 days, unless you asked what happened to you or having gone, or he did not want to spoil your beauty by crying, now, man, watch your face, change your dress, and go upstairs, and the maid's not disgrace Athena, so her age is there in Zeus, or she can save him, but he draws it dead. You may trouble Laertius. He has trouble enough already, besides I can't think of the gods to race with him. Never cases, yes. So much better than there will be a son who left to come up after him, and inherit the house and the fields, and lie far around the market. Before she made her mistress leave off crying and cried to tears from her eyes, and Penelope washed her face, changed her dress, and went upstairs with her maid, she then put some bruised barley into a basket and began praying to Athena. Hail Mary, she cried, never forget your son, Zeus, Odysseus. While he was growing into a 5 lions, she cried, "Thou art mine now, and as thy favor, and save me now, and serve the Zeus." She cried aloud as she spoke, and the goddess heard her pray. Meanwhile, the suitors were clamorous throughout the cloister, and one of them said, "The queens are ending her marriage with one or other of us. But told us your dream that her son has not been doomed to die." This was the next time when they did not know what was happening. Then Maximus said, "Comrades, let us the note lie to talk. Let us vow some to be carried inside. Let us be enough and do that in silence, without which we are all of one mind." He then chose 20 men, and they went down to the ships to the seaside. They drew the vessel to the left about her mast, sails inside her, they down the oars to those dolphins with twisted tongues and leather, all in due course, and spread white sails aloft, while their fine serpents wrapped in their armor, and then the ship passes with the way, came on shore, and got their separates and waited till night. All but Penelope lay in their own room upstairs, unable to eat or drink, and wondering like if her brave son will escape, or be overpowered by the weak suitors, like Linus' talking to his husband, having heard on every side she thought and thought, till she sank into a slumber, lay on her bed, bereft of thought and motion. Then a female befriended her, another man, Penelope's men, like Penelope's sister, the enemy, daughter of Icarus, who had married Eumelus, and lived in Berea. She told her vision to go to the house of Odysseus, and make Penelope leave off her crying, so it came to her about to remove the whole truth, which the thong went for falling the door to, and hovered over her head, saying, "You are asleep, Penelope, the gods who live at ease will not suffer you to live and be so sad. Your son has done them no wrong, so he will yet come back to you." Penelope, who was sleeping, stood at the gate streamline, and answered, "Sister, why have you come here? You do not know very often, but I suppose it is because you live such a long way off, and I then to leave off crying, refrain from all the sad thoughts that torture me. I have lost my brave and my husband, who had every good quality under heaven, and whose name was great over all hell as a middle Argus, and now my darling son had gone off board a ship, a foolish fellow who has never been used to nothing, and nor to going about all the items of men. I am more anxious about him than my husband. I am in a tremble when I think of him, what something should happen, so either from the people among whom he had gone, or if I see what he was an enemy, so are plotting against him, or bent on killing him before he can return home." Then the vision said, "Take heart and be not so dismayed. There is one gone before him, whom many a man would be glad enough to have stand by his side. I mean, Athena. It is she who has compassion upon you, and who has sent you to bear you this message." Then said Penelope, "If you are a god or have been sent here by divine permission, tell me also about the other unhappy ones. Is he still alive, or is he already dead in the house of Hades?" And the vision said, "I shall not tell you for certain whether he is alive or dead, and there is no use in idle conversation." Then vanished through the thong hall, the door, and Sassafity into the air. But Penelope, noticing her sleep, reflecting comfort, and so vivid had been her dream. Meantime, the suitors went on board and sailed their ways over the sea, intent on murdering Telemachus. Now there's a party business called Asterius, of no great size, in the channel between Ithaca and Sand. There is a harbor on either side where she can lie. Here and the Phrygians place themselves in ambush. Odyssey Book 5, Calypso. Odysseus reaches Chariot on a raft. And now, as dawn rose from her couch beside Tithonus, harbinger of light, alike mortals and immortals, the gods met in council, and with them Zeus, the lord of thunder, who is their king. Thereon Athena began to tell them of the many sufferings of Odysseus, for she pitied him away there in the house of the nymph Calypso. "Father Zeus," said she, "and all you other gods that live in the everlasting bliss, I hope there may never be such a thing as a kind and well-disposed ruler, and more nor one who will govern equitably. I hope they will be all henceforth cruel and unjust, for there is not one of his subjects but has forgotten Odysseus, who ruled them as though he were their father. There he is lying in great pain in an island where dwells the nymph Calypso, who will not let him go, and he cannot get back to his own country, for he can find neither ships nor sailors to take him over the sea. Furthermore, wicked people are now trying to murder his only son Telemachus, who is coming home from Pylos and Sparta, where he has been to see if he can get news of his father." "What, my dear, are you talking about?" replied her father. "Did you not send him there yourself because you thought it would help Odysseus to get home and punish the suitors? Besides, you are perfectly able to protect Telemachus and to see him safely home again, while the suitors had to come hurry serving back without having killed him." When he had thus spoken, he said to his son Hermes, "Hermes, you are our messenger. Go therefore and tell Calypso, we have decreed that your Odysseus is to return home. He conveyed neither by gods nor men, but after Hylas' voyage of 20 days upon a raft, he is to reach fertile Chariot on the land of the Phaeacians, who are near of kin to the gods, and will honor him as though he were one of ourselves. They will end him in a ship to his own country, and will give him more bronze and gold and raiment than he would have brought back from Troy. That he had had all of his prize money, and had gone home without disaster. This is how we have settled that he shall return to his country and his friends." Thus he spoke, and Hermes, guiding guardian, slayer of Argus, did as he was told. Forthwith He bound on the glistening golden sandals with which he could fly like a wind over land and sea. He took the wand with which he seals men's eyes and sleep or wakes them just as he pleases, and stood holding it in his hand over the area. Then he swooped down through the firmament till he reached the level of the sea, whose waves he skimmed like a cormorant that flies fishing every hole and corner of the ocean. And wrenching his thick plumage in the scrag, he flew and flew over many a weary wave, till when at last he got to the island which was his journey's end. He left the sea and went on by land till he came to a cave where the nymph Odyssey lived. He found her at home. There was a large fire burning on the hearth, and one could smell from fire the fragrant weed of burning cedar and sandalwood. As for herself, she was busy at her loom, shouting for golden struggle through the warp and singing beautifully. Round her cave there was a thick wood of powder, poplar, and sweet-smelling cypress trees, where all kinds of great birds had built their nests, fowls, hawks, and the chattering sea cows had occupied their business in the waters of unloaded of places. Train and grew luxuriantly about the mouth of the cave. There were also 4 running rills of water in the channels, cut pretty close together, turned hither and thither so as to irrigate the beds of violets and the luscious herbage over which they flew. Even the god could not help being charmed with such a lovely spot. So Hermes stood still and looked at it. But when he had admired it sufficiently, he went inside the cave. Calypso knew him at once, for the gods all know each other, no matter how far they lived from one another. But Odysseus was not with him. He was on the seashore as usual, looking out upon the barren ocean with tears in his eyes, roaming and breaking his heart with sorrow. Calypso gave Hermes a sway and said, "Why have you come to see me, Hermes, on earth, and ever welcome, for you do not visit me often. Say what you want, I will do it for you at once if I can, and if it can be done at all, then come inside and let me set refreshment before you." As she spoke, she drew a table, looked with ambrosia beside him, and mixed him some red nectar. So Hermes ate and drank till he had enough, and then said, "We are speaking God and goddess to one another, and you asked me, said, oh, I have come here, and I will tell you truly as you have me do. Zeus sent me, and it was no doing of mine. You could possibly want to come all this way over the sea, where there are no cities full of people to offer me sacrifices or choice hecatombs. Nevertheless, I had to come, for none of us other gods came across to Zeus, nor transgress his orders. He says that you have here the most ill sayer of all those who fought 9 years before the city of King Priam, and sailed home in a 10th year after having sacked it. On their way home they sinned against Athena, who raised the wind, and waves against them, so that all his great companions perished, and he alone was carried thither by wind and tide. Zeus says that you are set to let this man go at once, for it is decreed that he will not perish here, far from his own people. That he shall return to his house and country and see his friends again. Calypso trembled with rage when she heard this. You gods, she exclaimed, ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You are always jealous and hate seeing a goddess take fancy for mortal man and live with him in open matrimony. So when Rosy fingered God made love to Orion, you precious gods were all of you furious till Artemis once and killed him and Ortegaea. So again when Cerberus fell in love with Ion and Gilbert in a prize fellow field, Zeus came to hear of it before so long took Ion and with his thunderbolts. And now you are angry with me too, because I have a man here. I have the 4 creatures sitting all alone astride of Hero, for Zeus had struck his ship with lightning and sunk it in mid-ocean, so that all his crew were drowned, while he himself was driven by wind and waves onto my island. I got bound on him and cherished him, and had set my heart on making him immortal, so that he should never grow old all his days. So I cannot cross the Zeus, nor rend his counsel, so nothing therefore, if he insists upon it, let the man go beyond the seas again. But not sink him anywhere myself, for I have neither ships nor men who can take him. Nevertheless, I will readily give him such advice, and all good faith as will be likely to bring him safely to his own country. Then send him away, said Hermes, or Zeus will be angry with you and punish you. On this he took his leave, and Calypso went out to look for Odysseus, for she had heard Zeus's message. She found him sitting upon the beach with his eyes ever filled with tears and dying of sheer homesickness, for he had got tired of Calypso, and though he was forced to sleep with her in the cave one night, it was she, not he, that would have it so. As for the daytime, he spent it on the rocks on the seashore, weeping and crying aloud for his despair, and always looking out upon the sea. Calypso then went close up to him and said, "My poor fellow, you shall not stay here grieving and breaking your life out any longer. I am going to send you away of my own free will, so go cut some beams of wood and make yourself a large raft, another deck that it may carry you safely over the sea. I will put red wine and water on board to save you from starving. I will also give you clothes, and I will send you a fair wind to take you home if the gods in heaven so live, for they know more about these things and can settle it better than I can." Odysseus shuddered as he heard her. "Now, goddess," he answered, "there is something behind all this. You not here really meaning to help me home when you bid me do such a dreadful thing as put to sea on a raft. Now, even a well-found ship with a fair wind could then come to distant voyage. Nothing that you can say of you shall make me go on board a raft, unless you first solemnly swear that you and me no mischief." Calypso smiled after listening perhaps him with her hand. "You know a great deal," said she, "but you are quite wrong here. May heaven above and earth below be mountainous, and the waters of the river Styx. And this is a most solemn oath, with which at last God can take, that I mean you no sort of harm. I'm only advising you to do exactly what I should do myself in your place. I am dealing with you quite straightforwardly. My heart is not made of iron, and I am very sorry for you." When she had thus spoken, she looked away rapidly before him. Odysseus followed. Instead of the goddess and man went on and on till they came to Calypso's cave, where Odysseus took the sea from Hermes, had just left Calypso, so set meat and drink before him of the food that the mortals eat. But her maids brought ambrosia and nectar for herself, and they laid their hands on good things that were before them, and they had satisfied themselves with meat and drink. Calypso spoke, saying, "Odysseus, noble son of Laertes, so you who would start home to your own land at once, good luck go with you. But if you could only know how much suffering is in store for you before you get back to your own country, you would stay where you are. Keep house along with me, and let me make you immortal. No matter how anxious you may be to see this wife of yours of whom you are thinking all the time, day after day, yet I find myself that I am no whit less tall or well-looking than she is, for it is not to be expected that a mortal woman should compare in beauty with an immortal." Goddess replied, "Odysseus, do not be angry with me about this. I am quite aware that my wife, Penelope, is nothing like so far beautiful as yourself. She is only a woman, whereas you are immortal. Nevertheless, I want to get home. I can do nothing else. If some god wrecks me when I am on the sea, I will bear to make the best of it. I have had infinite trouble with my land and sea already, so let us go with the rest." Presently the sun sets and the king got where on the bed is tired and then part of the cave and went to bed. When it's out in the morning, rosy pink of the dawn, appeared Odysseus found his shirt cloak, while the goddess wore her dress of gossamer fabric, very fine and graceful, with a beautiful golden girdle about her waist and veil over her head. She at once set herself to think how she could speak Odysseus on his way. So she gave him a great bronze axe that suited his hands and was sharpened on both sides and had a beautiful olive wood handle fitted firmly on it. She also gave him a front at his and then led the way to the far end of the island where the large trees grew, however popular in time, that reached the sky. Very dry and well seasoned, so as to stay alive for him and water. Then when she had shown him where the best trees grew, Calypso went home, leaving him to cut them, which he soon finished doing. He cut down 20 trees and all and added them smooth, square into them by rule in good workmanlike fashion. Meanwhile, Calypso came back with some augers, so he more with them, and put timbers together with bolts and rivets, and made for the raft as broad as the stone shipwright makes the beam of a large vessel, and he fixed the deck on top of the ribs and ran a gunwale all around it. He also made a mast of a yard arm and a rudder to steer with. He fenced the raft all around with wicker girdles as a protection against the waves, and then when he threw on a quantity of wood, by and by Calypso brought him some linen to make the sails, and he made these two, excellently making them fast with braces and sheets. Last of all, with the help of levers, he drew the raft down into the water. In 4 days he had completed the whole work, and on the 5th, Calypso sent him from the island. After washing him and giving him some clean clothes, she gave him a goatskin full of black wine and another larger one of water. She also gave him a wallet full of provisions, and supplied him with much good meat. Moreover, she made the wind fair and warm for him, like we did Odysseus, spread the sail forward, while he sat and guided the raft skillfully by means of the rudder. He never closed his eyes, but kept some fix on the ladies, on late second boots, and on the bear, which men also call the wain, which turns round and round where it is facing Orion, and along the different stream of Progenus, where Calypso had told him to keep this to his left. Days 7 and 10 did he sail over the sea. On the 18th, the dim outlines of the mountains on the nearest part of the Phrygian coast appeared rising like a shoe on the horizon. But King decided he was returning from the Ethiopians, outside of Odysseus, a long way off from the mountains of Sardinia. He could see him sailing upon the sea, and it made him very angry, so he wagged his head, and muttered to himself, saying, "Good heavens, so the gods have been changing their minds about Odysseus while I was away in Ethiopia, and now he is close to the land of the Phrygians, where it is decreed that he shall escape from the calamities that have befallen him. So he shall have plenty of hardship yet before he has done with it." Thereon he gathered his clouds together, grasped his trident, stirred around the sea, and roused away to every wind that blows over the sea and sky, where hidden in cloud, night sprang forth out of the heavens, winds from the east, south, north, and west fell upon him all at the same time, and a tremendous sea got it, so that Odysseus' heart began to fail him. "Alas," he said to himself in his dismay, "whatever will become of me? I am afraid Calypso was right when she said I should have trouble I see before I got back home. It is all coming true. How black is Zeus making the heaven with his clouds, and what I see the winds are raising from every quarter at once. I am now safe to perish, blessed and pressed less, who are those Danons who fell before Troy, and because of the sons of Atreus, who would thou have killed on the day when your Trojans were pressing me so sorely about the dead body of Achilles, for then I should have had due burial, and the Phrygians would have honored my name. And now it seems that I shall come to the most fatal end." As he spoke, a sea raged over him with such terrific fury that the raft waited him, and he was carried overboard a long way off. He let go of the helm, and the force of the hurricane was so great that it broke mast halfway up, and both sail and yard went over into the sea. For a long time Odysseus was underwater, and it was all he could do to rise to the surface again, for the Calypso had given him weight him down. But at last he got his head above the water and spat out the bitter eye that was running down his face in streams. In spite of all this, however, he did not lose sight of his raft. The swarm swam as fast as he could towards it, and got hold of it, and climbed on board again, so as to escape drowning. The sea took the raft and tossed it about, as often winds whirl thistledown round and round upon the road. It was as though the south, north, east, and west winds were all playing backward and shuttlecock with it at once. When he was in his flight, daughter of Cadmus, was also called the Pythia, saw him. She had formerly been a mere mortal, but had been since raised the rank of marine goddess. Seeing in what great distress Odysseus now was, she had compassion upon him, and rising like a seagull from the waves, took her seat upon the raft. "My poor good man," said she, "why is beside him so fiercely angry with you? He is giving you a great deal of trouble. With all his luster, he will not kill you. You seem to be a sensible person. But then, as I bid you, strip lead your raft to drive before the wind and swing to the Phrygian coast, where you better luck awaits you. And here, take my veil and put it around your chest. It is enchanted, and you can come to no harm so long as you wear it. As soon as he touches land, take it off, and throw it back as far as you can into the sea, and then go away again." With these words she took up her veil and gave it to him. Then she dived down again like a seagull and vanished beneath the dark blue waters. But Odysseus did not think much to think. "Alas," he said to himself in his dismay, "this is only some other one or other of the gods who is luring me to ruin by advising me with my raft. At any rate, I will not do so at present, for the land where she said I should go, be quit of all troubles, seems to be still a good way off. I know what I will do. I am sure it will be the best. No matter what happens, I will sit to the map, as long as her timbers hold together, and when the sea raises her up, I will swim for it. I do not see how I can do any better than this." While he was thus in two minds, Poseidon sent a terrible great wave that seemed to rear itself above his head till it broke right over the raft, which then went to pieces, as though it were a huge dry trap, tossed it out like a whirlwind. Odysseus got astride of one point and rode upon it as if he were on horseback. He eventually got the clothes Calypso had given him, found in his veil under his arms, and plunged into the sea, meaning to swim on shore. King Poseidon watched him as he did so, and wagged his head muttering to himself and saying, "There now, swim up and down as best you can, so you fall in with well-to-do people. I do not think you will be able to say what I have led you off too lightly." On this he lashed his horses and drove to Phrygia and his palaces. But Athena resolved to help Odysseus, so she bound the waves of all the winds except one, and made him lie quite still. But she rose a good stiff breeze from the north, and as she delayed the waters, so Odysseus reached the land of the Phaeacians, where he would be safe. Thereon he floated about for 2 nights and 2 days in the waters, where a heavy swell of the wind kept sailing him in the face. So when the third day broke, the wind fell, and there was a dead calm without so much as breath of air stirring. As he rose on the swell, he looked eagerly ahead and could see land quite near. But as children rejoice when their dear fathers begin to get better after having for a long time borne sore affliction sent to him by some angry spirit of the gods to deliver him from the evil. So Odysseus thankful when he again saw land and trees, and swam on with all his strength, that he might once more set foot upon dry ground. When, however, he got within earshot, he began to hear the surf thundering up against the rocks, for the swell still broke against them with a terrific roar. Everything was enveloped in spray. There were no harbors where a ship might ride, nor shelter of any kind, only headlands, low-lying rocks, and mountain tops. Odysseus' heart now began to fail him, and he said despairingly to himself, "Alas, Zeus has left me see land after swimming so far that I had given up all hope. I can find no landing place, for the coast is rocky and surf-beat and the rocks are smooth, and rise sheer from the sea, with deep water flows under them so that I cannot climb, for want of foothold. I am afraid some great wave will lift me off my legs and dash me against the rocks as I leave the water, which would give me a sore, sorry landing. If on the other hand I swim further in the search of some shelving beach or harbor, a hurricane may carry me out to sea again, sorely against my will, or heaven may send some great monster of the deep to attack me, for Emperor Dryas breeds many such, and I know that the Poseidon is very angry with me." But he was stuck in two minds without having to with such force against the rock that he would have been smashed to pieces of Athena, and not showing him what to do. He caught hold of the rock with both hands and clung to it, groaning with pain till the wave retired. So he was saved that time. The peasant made a bit, came on again, and carried him back with it far into the sea, carrying his hands so such as the polypus are torn when someone places it on its bed, and the stones come up along with it. Even so, the rock spared the skin from his strong hands, and then the wave drew him deep and down upon the water. Here, poor Odysseus would have certainly perished, even in spite of his own destiny, but Athena had not helped him to keep his wits about, and he swam seaward again, beyond reach of the surf, and was beating against the land, and at the same time he kept looking towards the shore to see if he could find some haven, or a spit that should take away his pastlands. By and by, as he swam on, he came to the mouth of a river, and here he thought would be the best place, for there were no rocks, and it afforded shelter from the wind. He thought there was a current, so he prayed inwardly and said, "Hear me, O king, whoever you may be, and save me from the anger of the sea god Poseidon, for I approach you greater for me. Anyone who has lost his way has at times claimed even upon the gods. Wherefore, in my distress, I draw near to your stream and cling to the knees of your riverhood. Have mercy upon me, O king, for I declare myself your suppliant." Then the god saith his stream still the waves, making all calm before him, and bringing him safely without the river. Here at last, Odysseus' knees and strong hands filled him, for the sea had completely broken him. His body was all swollen, and his mouth and nostrils ran down like a river of seawater, so that he could neither breathe nor speak. Lay swimming from sheer exhaustion. Presently he had got his breath, and came to himself again. He took up the scarf that Ino had given him, and threw it back into the salt stream of the river, whereon Ino perceived it in safer hands from the wave that bore it towards her. Then he left the river, laid himself down among the rushes, and kissed the mountain spirit. "Alas," he cried to himself in his dismay, "whatever will become of me, and how is it all to end? If I stay here upon the riverbed, through the long watches of the night, I am so exhausted that the bitter cold and damp may an end of me, for towards the sunrise there will be a keen wind blowing from off the river. If on the other hand I climb the hillside, find shelter in the woods, and sleep in some thicket, I may escape the cold and have a good night's rest. But such savage beasts may take advantage of me and devour me." In the end, keeping it best to take the woods, and he found one upon some high ground not far from the water. There he crept beneath two shoots of olive, and grew from a single stalk at one head a rafted sucker, while the other had been rafted. No wind, however, swallowing to break through the cover they afforded, nor could the sun's rays pierce them, nor the rain get through them. So closely did they grow into one another. Odysseus crept under these, and began to make himself a bed to lie on, for there was a great litter of dead leaves lying about, enough to make a covering for 2 or 3 men, even in hard winter weather. He was glad enough to see this, so he laid himself down and beat the leaves all around him. Then, as one who lives alone in the country, far from a neighbor, hides a ram, his fire sea matches to save himself from having to get life elsewhere. Even so, Odysseus covered himself up with leaves, and Athena shed a sweet sleep upon his eyes, closed his eyelids, and made him lose all memories of his sorrows. The Odyssey, Book 6, the meeting between Nausicaa and Odysseus. So here Odysseus slept, overcome by sleep and toil, but Athena went off to the country and city of the Phaeacians, people who used to live in the fair town of Ephyria, now the lawless Cyclops. Now the Cyclopses were stronger than they plundered them, so that their king Nausicaa moved them thence and settled them in Ephyria, from all other people. He surrounded the city with a wall, built houses and temples, and divided the lands among his people. But he was dead and gone to the house of Hades, and King Alcinous, whose counsels were inside of heaven and was now reigning, to his house then did Athena hide in the furtherance of the return of Odysseus. She went straight to the beautifully decorated bedroom in which there slept a girl who was lovely as a goddess, Nausicaa, daughter to King Alcinous. 2 maidservants were sleeping near her, both very pretty, one on either side of the doorway, which was closed with well-made folding doors. Athena took the form of the famous sea captain Diomas's daughter, who was a bosom friend of Nausicaa, and just her own age. Then coming to the girl's bedside like a breath of wind, she hovered over her head and said, "Nausicaa, what can your mother have been about to have such a lazy daughter? Here are your clothes all lying in disorder, yet you are going to be married almost immediately. They should not only well dress yourself, but should find your clothes for those who attend you. This is the way to give yourself a good name and to make your father and mother proud of you. Suppose then that you make tomorrow a watching day and start at daybreak. I will come and help you so as that you may have everything ready as soon as possible, for as all the young men among your own people are courting you, and you are not going to remain a maid much longer. Ask your father, therefore, to have a wagon and mules ready for us at daybreak. Then take the rugs, robes, and girdles. You can ride, too, which will be much pleasanter for you than walking, for the washing cisterns are some way from the town." When she had said this, Athena went away to Olympus, which they say is the everlasting home of the gods. Here no wind beats roughly, neither rain nor snow can fall, but it provides an everlasting sunshine and a great peacefulness of life, wherein the blessed gods are illumined forever and ever. This was the place to which the goddess went when she had given instructions to the girl. By and by morning came Nausicaa, who began wondering about her dream. She therefore went about into the house to tell her father and mother all about it, and found them in their own room. Her mother was sitting by the fireside, spinning her purple yarn with her maids around her, and she happened to catch her father just as he was going out to the meeting of the town council, while the Phrygian alderman and then she stopped him and said, "Papa dear, could you manage to let me have a good big wagon? I want to take all our dirty clothes to the river and wash them. You want to shoot men here year or so, his only recreation had a clean shirt and was in the meeting at the council. Moreover, he had 5 sons at home, 2 of them married, while the other 3 are good-looking bachelors. You know, they always like to have clean linen when they go to a dance, and I had been thinking about all this. She did not say a word about her own wedding, or she did not want to, but her father knew and said, "You shall have mules, my love, and whatever else you have, a mind for be off of you, and the men shall give you a good strong wagon with a body food and have a whole overflows." On this, he gave his orders to the servants who got the wagon out, harnessed the mules, and put them to, while the girl brought the clothes down from the labor room and placed them on the wagon. Her mother did have a basket of provisions of all sorts of good things and a goat skin full of wine. The girl now got into the wagon, and her mother gave her also a golden crust of oil, and that she and her old woman might anoint themselves. Then she took her wooden reins and lashed the mules on their own. They set off from the post of the road. They followed without flying, and carried not only Nasa up in her wash of clothes, but all the maids also who were with her. When they reached the waterside, they went to the washing cisterns, through which there ran at all times enough pure water to wash any quantity of linen, no matter how dirty. Here they unharnessed the mules and turned them out to feed on the sweet, juicy herbage that grew by the waterside. They took the clothes out of the wagon and put them in water and gave one another to train them and investigate the dirt out. After they had finished, they washed them and got them clean. They laid them out by the seaside, where the waves had raised a high beach of a shingle, and set about washing themselves, anointing themselves with olive oil. And when they got their dinner by the side of the stream, and waited for the sun to finish drying the clothes. When they had dinner, they threw off the veils and covered their heads began to play a ball. While Nausicaa sang for them, as the hunter's Artemis goes forth upon the mountains of Aetus, or during Memphis, to hunt wild boars over you, and the wood nymphs of Dr. Nature's bearing Zeus take their sport along with her. Then his Leto, proud at seeing her daughter, and saying that all had taller than the others, and he puts the loveliest amid all belly of beauties. Even so did the girl outshine her handmaids. Then when it was time for them to set out, and they were folding clothes and putting them to the light, Athena began to consider Odysseus, should wake up and see the handsome girl who was conducted to the city of the Phrygians. The girl therefore threw a ball at one of the maids which missed her and fell to the deep water. On this they all shouted and noise, and they awoke Odysseus, who sat at his bed and knees, and began to wonder what they might all be. Alas, he said to himself, what kind of people have I come amongst? Are they cruel, savage, and uncivilized, or hospitable and humane? I seem to hear the voices of young women, they would sound like those of the nymphs that hunt mountain tops through springs of rivers and meadows of green grass. At any rate, I am among the race of men and women. Let me try if I cannot manage to get a good look at them. As he said this, he crept from under his brush and broke off a bow covered with thick leaves to hide his nakedness. He looked like some lion of the wilderness that stalked it out, exulting his strength in the fine but wind and rain. His eyes glare as he prowls in the quest of oxen, sheep, or deer, for he is famished, and will dare break even into the well-fenced homestead, trying to get at the sheep. Even with such Odysseus seemed to have the young woman as he drew near to them, all naked as he was, for he was in great want. On seeing one so unkempt and so grin, put his salt water, the others scampered up along the spits that jutted out into the sea. The doctor Alcinous stood firm, full of the courage into her heart, who took away all fear of her. She stood right in front of Odysseus, and doubted whether he should go outside her, throw himself at her feet, and embrace her knees as a suppliant, or stay where she was, and entreat her to give him some clothes and show him the ways of the town. And then he deemed it best to entreat her from a distance in case the girl should take offense at coming near enough to clasp her knees. So he addressed her in honeyed and persuasive language. "O Queen," he said, "I am fully ready to tell me all you have goddess or you mortal woman. You are goddess in bow and head, and I can only conjecture that you are Zeus's daughter Artemis. For face and figure resemble none of hers. And on the other hand, you are mortal, and on earth thrice happy. Are your father and mother thrice happy too? Are your brothers and sisters? How proud and delightful they must feel when they too see so fair a Scion as yourself. You only have 7 hands, but happy, however, are all. Well, he whose wedding gifts have been the richest, and who takes you to his own home. I never get saw anyone so beautiful, neither man or woman, and I am lost in admiration as I behold you. I can only compare with you to a young palm tree, which I saw when I was at Bellows, growing near the altar of Olive. For I was there too, but much people after me, and I was on the journey which was finished of all my troubles. Never get such a young plant shoot out of the ground as that was, that I might have wondered as exactly as I now admire and wonder at myself. I did not clasp your knees, but I am in great strength to be made 120th day, that I had been tossing about upon the sea. The winds of the waves have taken me all the way from the old deep island, and now fate has flung me upon this coast, and I am there still. Further suffering, for I do not think that I have yet come to an end, but that heaven has still much evil in store for me, and now, O Queen, have pity upon me, for you are the first person I have met, and I know no one else in this country shall be that way till you walk down, and when they have anything that you may have wrapped there's around your clothes, and when they have you and you in all things, your hearts desire, husband, house, and happy. Please hold on, for there is nothing better in this world than that man and wife should be of one mind and house. If conquers their enemies, they suffer for the friends glad, and they themselves no more at it than anyone. To this Nausicaa answered, stranger, you appear to be a sensible, well disposed person, every little accounting for law. Zeus gives prosperity to the rich and poor, this decreases, so we must, when he has seen fit to sing you and make best of it. However, you have come to this country, you shall not want for clothes nor for anything else that poor American distress may reason before. I will show you the way to the town and look, tell you the name of our people. We are called Phrygians, and I am the doctor Alcinous, who moved the whole power of the state to possess it. Then she called her maids and said, "Sit with all you girls, for you soon I see that it's no longer neither do you nor anyone else can come to us for we are dear to the gods, and let our minds end, and just as the coming sea, and have nothing to do with any evil. This is only something I might lost his way. We must be thankful for the pointers and stress on reduces protection, and will take what they can get and be thankful. So girls leave the courthouse over the and watch on the street at some place, and it sheltered from the wind. Honest maids left off the running away, began falling one another back. They made Odysseus sit down and shelter as Nausicaa had told them. Brought him a serpent book. They also brought him the little woman first of oil and told him to go wash in the stream. But Odysseus said, "Young woman, please to stand a little on one side, that I may wash the very from my shoulders and rub myself with oil. For it is long enough since my skin has had a drop of oil on it, I cannot blush. As long as you all keep standing there, I am ashamed to trip before a number of good-looking young women." Then they stood on one side and went to tell the girl while Odysseus washed himself in the stream and started right up from his back and from the broad shoulders. When he had thoroughly washed himself and had got the line out of his hair, he anointed himself with oil and put on the clothes of the girl had given him. Athena then made him look taller and stronger than before. She also made the hair drifting on top of his head, then flowed down in curls like hyacinth blossoms. She glorified him about the head head and shoulders as a skillful workman who has setting parts of all kinds under the Lucius and Athena, which is a piece of silver plate gallery. And works is all beauty that he once in sat down all the way upon the beach, looking upon young handsome, and the girl gazed on him with admiration. He then said to her maids, "I'll tell you, so I want to say something. I believe the gods who live in heaven have sent this man to the Persians when I grew up and I got important in Atlas, appearances like the gods who dwell in heaven. I shall not my future husband to be such another as he is, that he would only stay here now to go away, however, give him something to eat and drink." They did as they were told and set food before Odysseus, who ate some bread ravenously, for it was long since he had food of any kind. Meanwhile, Nausicaa the doctor, at another matter, she got to the woman holding the place in the wagon and the mules, as she took her seat before Odysseus. "Stranger," said she, "rise minutes ago by going back to town, I'll introduce you to the house of my own father, where I can tell you that he told me called as he called the Persians, but be sure. He was happy for seems to be a sensible person, as long as we are going past the fields and farmlands, follow briskly behind the wagon along the gates, and I will lead the way myself, as the hour we shall represent, where you will find a high wall all around it, and a good harbor. On either side of the narrow entrance to the city, the ships will be drawn on by the roadside, for everyone has a place where he is own ship in mind. You will see the marketplace with the temple Poseidon in the middle of it, and table large shows then and there. Here people deal in ships here of all kinds, such tables and sails here too. Places where the oars are made for the Persians are not engaged in archers. They know nothing about bows and arrows that are sea during and find themselves on the mass oars and ships with which they travel far over the sea. I'm afraid we gossip and scandal that may be set on 20 days to meet later on. For the people here are very ill-natured, and some who look fellow, if he met us, I'd say, "Who is the fine stranger that is going without with Nausicaa? Where did she find him? I suppose that she is going to marry him. Perhaps he's a vagabond sailor whom she has taken from some foreign vessel. But we have no neighbors or some god has at last come down from heaven and answered to her prayers, and she's going to live with him all the rest of her life. It would be a good thing if she would take herself off and find a husband somewhere else, where she would not look at one of the many excellent young Greeks still on in love with her. This is the kind of disparaging remark that would be made about me, and I could not complain, for I should myself be scandalized at seeing any other girl you know I can go about with men inside bed, with her father and mother was still alive, without having been married in the face of all the world. That therefore you are my father to give you an escort to help you home, and as I did you, you will see before her father is roadside to that it is well, and in the meadow all around that. You, my father, has skill of fresh water in the ground, but I was far from town, because the man's voice will carry sit down there and wait for a while until the rest of us can get to the town and reach my father's house. Then you think we must have done this. Come to this town and ask the ways of the house my father helps us. You will have no difficulty finding any child will point out to you, for no one else in the whole town has anything like the fine house as he has. When you have got past the gates and through the outer court, go right across the airport till you come to my mother. You will find her sitting by the fire and swing the purple wool by firelight to this fine sight. The sea as he leans back against one of the bearing coats of her maids, all ranged behind her, close to her and seat stands at my father on which she sits and talks like the mortal god. Never mind him, but go up to my mother and lay your hands upon her. Means that you would go home quickly, that you can gain her over. You may hope to see your own country again, no matter how distant it may be. So said she lashed the mules with her whip and down the river. The mules drew up, and her hooves went down upon the road. She was careful not to go too fast for Odysseus, and the mates soon were following on a long coat of wagon. So she piled her whip on judgment as the sun was going down. They came to the sacred grove of Athena, and there Odysseus sat down and prayed to the mighty doctor of Zeus. Hear me, he cried, Doctor Zeus, and Zeus, and therefore hear me now, for you gave no heed to my prayers, and Poseidon was now letting me. Now therefore have pity upon me, and grant that I may find friends in the hospitality to see of Persians. Thus did he pray, and Athena heard his prayer, but she would not show herself to him openly, for she was afraid of her uncle Poseidon, who was self-furious in his endeavors to prevent Odysseus from being home. Book 7. The Odyssey, Book 7. Reception of Odysseus at the palace of King Atlas. Thus then did Odysseus wait and pray, but the girl drove on to the town. When she reached her father's house, she grew up at the gateway, and her brothers, only as the gods, gathered round her, took the mules out of the wagon, and carried the clothes into the house, while she went to her own room, where an old servant, Medusa of Ura, lit the fire for her. This old woman had been brought by sea from Area, and had been chosen as prize for Alcinous, because he was king of the Grecians, and the people obeyed him as though he were a god. She had been a nurse in Nausicaa, and had now lit the fire for her, and brought her supper for her into her own room. Presently Odysseus got out to go towards the town, and Athena shed a thick mist all around him to hide him, in case any of the proud Persians who met him should be rude to him, or asked him who he was. Then as he was just entering the town, she came towards him in the likeness of a little girl carrying a pitcher. She stood right in front of him, and Odysseus said, "My dear, will you be so kind as to show me the house of King Alcinous? I am an unfortunate foreigner in distress, and do not know one in your town and country." Then Athena said, "Yes, father stranger, I will show you the house you want, for Alcinous lives quite close to my own father. I will go before you and show the way. But say not a word as you go, and do not look at any man, nor ask him questions, so people here do not abide strangers, and do not like men who come from some other place. They are seafaring folk, and sail the seas by the grace of Poseidon, in ships that glide along like or as a bird in the air." On this she led the way, and Odysseus, following her steps, and no one of the Persians could see him as he passed through the city in the midst of them, for the great goddess Athena and her goodwill towards him had hidden him in a thick cloud of darkness. He admired their labors, the ships' places of assembly, and lofty walls of the city, which with the palisade on top of them were very striking. And there was the king's house. Athena said, "This is the house, father stranger, which you would have me show you. You will find a number of great people sitting at table, but do not be afraid. The strange for the bolder a man is, the more likely he is to carry his point, even though he is a stranger. First find the queen, her name is Arete, and she comes of the same family as her husband Alcinous. They both descend originally from Poseidon, who was father to Nausicaa by Periboea, a woman of great beauty. Periboea was the youngest daughter of Eurymedon, who at one time reigned over the giants, but he ruined his ill-fated people and lost his own wife to boot. Poseidon, however, lay with his daughter, and she had a son by him, the great Nausicaa, who reigned over the Grecians. Nausicaa had two sons, great Xenor and Alcinous. Apollo took first of them while he was still a bridegroom, and without male issue, but he led the daughter of Arete, whom Alcinous married, and honors as no other woman is honored of all those that keep house along with their husbands. Thus she both was, and still is respected beyond measure by her children, by Alcinous himself, and by the whole people who look upon her as goddess, and greet her whenever she goes about the city. For she is a thoroughly good woman, both in head and heart, and when any women are friends of hers, she will help their husbands also sell their disputes. If you can gain her goodwill, you may have every hope of seeing your friends again and getting safely back to your home and country. Then Athena left the area and went away over the sea. She went on marathon into the sacred streets of Athens, where she entered the abode of Erysippus. But Odysseus went on to the house of Alcinous, and he pondered much as caused aloud before reaching the high threshold of bronze, for the splendor of the palace was like the sun or moon. The walls on either side were of bronze, and the cornice was of blue and angle. The doors were gold and hung on pillars of silver that rose from the floor of bronze, while the wings was silver, and the hood of the door was of gold. On either side there stood gold and silver mastiffs, which Hephaestus, with his consummate skill, had fashioned to keep watch over the palace of King Alcinous, so they were immortal and could never grow old. Seats were ranged all along the wall, here and there, from one end to the other, with coverings of fine woven work, which the women of that house had made. Here the chief persons of the Persians used to sit and eat and drink, for there was abundance at all seasons, and there were golden figures of young men with lighted torches in their hands, raised on pedestals to give wise lights to those who were at table. There are 50 maid servants in the house, some of whom are always grinding rich yellow grain at the mill, while others work at the loom, or sit and spin, and their shovels go backwards and forwards like fluttering of aspen leaves, while the linen is so closely woven that it will turn to oil. As the Persians are the best sailors in the world, so the women excel in all others in weaving, for Athena has taught them all manner of useful arts, and they are very intelligent. Outside the gates of Africa, there is a large garden, about 4 acres of a wall all round it. It is all beautiful trees, pears, pomegranates, and most delicious apples. There are luscious figs also, and olives and full growth. The fruits never rot nor fail all the year round. Neither winter nor summer, they soon stop, and a new crop ripens the whole all hands. It grows on pear, apple, big, and so also with grapes. When they present them on the ground of the harvest, the grapes are made in raisins and another are in value. Some are in color in the wine, others further upon had should their blossom beginning to show fruit. Others again are just changing color from the pods. There is a beautifully arranged beds of flowers that are in bloom all year round. 2 streams go through this, and the one turn thus throughout the whole garden, while the other is carried on the ground of the outer court to the house itself. The townspeople draw water from it, such famous wonders that she quickly gone and down the house of King Maximus. So he Odysseus stood for a while, and looked up, and he had looked long enough to cross the threshold, and went within the precincts of the house. And he found all 2 people among the Persians making their drink offerings to Hermes.